jumping from environment to another and becoming like, you know, a business owner?
What you need to do to be a good manager and like how to handle client relationships, that was more like a difficulty for me at the beginning. I'm very grateful because my clients are in Europe and USA, and actually they found the time difference quite in their advantage, I would say. Yeah, because they wake up and like everything is ready already.
It wasn't the challenge of like running the business itself. It was the challenge of like you changing the mindset and working toward something different.
Don't improve on yourself. It will show up in different areas in your life. There's a challenge that I have to face for myself as a person, and I need to solve it or face it in order to overcome.
Welcome to the Entrepreneurial Age podcast, a show where you get to meet a lot of entrepreneurs, digital nomads, and content creators from around the world. Before we dive into today's episode, I'd like to thank you so much for all the support, all the love that I'm receiving from all people around the world regarding my guests, my beautiful guests. And every time I try my best to bring different guests, different stories, so you can get inspired out of it. And you can make the best out of it. And also you feel the motivation, not in the feeling, but to do something, to be bold about it. And that's all the description of my guests of today. My guest of today left all the corporate job in the heart of Paris and joined the entrepreneurial path just to create her own studio September. So today, without forgetting my beautiful, amazing people at Podcast Inc. that are sponsoring this podcast, I wanted to introduce Sarah. Hi.
Hi.
Thank you so much for joining me today.
And thank you so much to receive me.
Yeah, of course. I'm so happy that we get to do this simply because you have a really amazing path. And the fact that you left Paris to join this, path where you get to do your own business, you get to decide things. I'm sure you left your old environment, right?
Yes, exactly. Yes.
So I wanted to know, what was the motive behind that kind of bold push? Like, what was your motive to, okay, I'm done with this corporate job, I'm just going to do my own thing?
I think it all happened at a certain point where it doesn't make sense anymore.
Yeah.
Like I didn't picture myself to stay like so much here in Paris and doing the same job and follow the classic path and everything. So at that moment I say, okay, I need to take a decision. I need to try something new. And this is like,
jump. Yeah, I like it. And one of the things that you do at Studio September is you help people with their website, and you offer even more. So can you tell me more about that?
Yeah, so like this entrepreneur journey, I started first like by myself, right? I was in my corporate job, and on the weekend and evening I was a freelancer. And first I was doing like everything I can for my client on a website point of view, like SEO, website, branding, logo, graphic design, sometimes a bit of social media. But little by little I refine, and now we propose like website and branding. That's mainly what we do.
Yeah, that's amazing. And then I wanted to tap also into the idea that kind of led you toward that. Was it kind of like something related to your previous corporate job, or this is something totally different than what you were doing back there?
I mean, it was still like related to IT and marketing and somehow. So I definitely think that what I learned in my university, in my master degree, or the following a professional experience helped me a lot, because I was a project manager. I was in charge of either marketing services or like some website creation on a worldwide scale. So that still helped me a lot with my how to manage a web project and everything.
Definitely.
But then many things came up, like all this branding, for example. That's something new that I learned along the way. And also I surround myself by people who are experienced to this field. So we cannot say it was exactly the same, but
It is what it is, though. But yeah, like when it comes up to also, the way that you're putting your services together and even the way that you're putting your team together, you took time to get this done. I mean, like your business, I know that now you're thriving. It's 10 years of running this business. So I'm so happy for you and I'm proud of you. But I know what it took. I know the backstory of it. And I would love for you if you can share it with my audience.
Like definitely it has been a long journey for sure, like with up and down. But yeah, like today we are strong and we know exactly what direction we go, and the team is working very well together and everything. Yeah. But yeah, it took time. Like I said, first I was like one person. Now we are almost 10. Yeah. Because we are hiring someone, so this is weird. Yeah. So we are 10 in the team, but yeah, it took me a few years to do that, and I had also to go through like burnout and setting up boundaries and know my worth and trust people also for delegate and everything. So it took a bit of time.
Yeah, I can relate. Basically, it's like when you're jumping from like freelancing toward like having your own business and then hiring people, it's kind of like a shift also for the mindset of like from doing things by yourself to okay, I can trust this person and hand them the work to do it. Yeah, I mean, like that's something I also faced. Yeah. But I want to know, like, how do you, what was the thing that kind of, helped you to deal with this?
I mean, at a certain point, there is no choice. I mean, for me, it was there is no choice. I couldn't carry on to do everything by myself anyway. I wanted to carry on to serve my client, and with the word of mouth, I get more and more requests. Yeah. And I was not able to handle everything by myself. Yeah. And then I also understand some people may actually do the work better than me and are more specialized into one expertise and expertise and everything. Yeah. So at that point, it makes more sense for me, for my client to hire to make the team grow and hire the right person. Yeah. But you come up with with challenge. You need to trust the people.
Yeah, I totally agree on this point. And basically what I love about you, Sarah, is you're so humble about it and you're so vulnerable about it. I know that during our, coffee chat, it was really amazing to get to know you and to know more about your journey and the fact that, jumping from an environment to another and becoming a business owner, also running your business from Thailand is, I don't know if it's a challenge. I don't know if it's something that you're doing or making it sound as easy as you're saying it, but I would love to know, how does it feel and what kind of things that you're kind of grateful for at this point?
Yeah, it's interesting. Some people see difficulty in some area and for example, some are, you manage your business from Thailand, or you had the courage to leave or to left behind the corporate and everything. Yeah. For me, it's not the area where I had the most struggle. Living was not a big challenge for me. I had more difficulty, for example, to know my worth and to fix my price. Yeah. Sometimes also to manage not project, but more the team and all this question about who is, what you need to do to be a good manager and how to handle client relationships. That was more a difficulty for me at the beginning, more than living and managing a business from Thailand. This is not the challenge. Actually, I'm very grateful because my clients are in Europe and USA, and actually they found the time difference quite in their advantage, I would say. Yeah, because they wake up and everything is ready already. So we gain every time. We have 12 hours more than them, and it's actually an advantage.
Yeah, I love that you're seeing advantage out of it. And I want to just dive deeper into the fact that you said it wasn't the challenge of running the business itself. It was the challenge of you changing the mindset and working toward something different. Yeah. So what was the hardest point, or what was the hardest breakthrough that you had to go through in order to tap into this this version of you today?
Yeah, I used to say being entrepreneur is maybe it's a very big mirror about where you are, you as a person, right?
Yeah.
So if you don't work on yourself, if you don't improve on yourself, it will show up in different areas in your life.
Yeah.
Your relationship, of course, but like your professional life and your client relationship, team management, and so on. So, like to come up to the point where I am today, I had to work a lot about on myself, right?
Yeah.
And facing like many things. For example, let's say like self-worth.
Yeah.
It will impact directly like the price that you will set up for me, like his website.
Yeah.
It's like how you what type of client you accept or no, and so on and so on.
True.
So it's a challenge that I have to face for myself as a person, and I need to solve it or face it in order to overcome and to come to where I am.
I mean, like, I'm a huge believer of like, you gotta fix yourself, because whatever you're, dealing here inside, it's gonna show up, as you said, on your business, on the way that you make decisions, on the fact that how you associate yourself with it will show up even within your circle of people, and how you can, deal with them at that point. But yeah, it is lovely to see you kind of like just, own into it, and knowing that because of that, you get to jump into doing what is helpful for your business. Because of that, you get to now, deal with clients that at certain point, maybe you thought that they were out of your league or something.
Exactly. Yeah, sometimes there is client who come, I'm like, I cannot serve this person. She is like too much advanced, and like I am worth it. Like what I will produce will be like enough for her or for him. And there is some project before I couldn't accept, but now I'm like, it's okay. First, like I'm definitely more grounded. I'm really less stressed. I have like more confidence. And now I have an amazing team. So it's like
that's beautiful.
So like, okay, this project I can give it to this person. I know she will be like a perfect fit, and now I feel very more. I have more trust to myself.
That's lovely.
It was not like this like 4 years ago, but now.
I'm happy that you're own into it as well. Basically, it's like, people like to glamorize entrepreneurship. And my role here is like, I'm not deeming that light of like entrepreneurship, but I want to just show them that you got to do the work. You got to, do the mental work, the physical work. You got to show up, be dedicated to what you're, putting out there, and also committed at the same time. So I do see that within what you're putting, especially for your team. And I know that you're up to bigger stuff. And that kind of like started from like the fact that you worked also on your mindset. So do you like believe that maybe if you haven't worked on that part, maybe you won't be on this path? Or was it kind of like there before?
Yes, definitely. Without all of that, without all this work, I would have stayed the same, like charging like very little and being stressed. I mean, like it's not even a question of the money, but more at a certain point it was not enjoyable. I feel very overwhelmed and all of that. Now I have like a very good stress management. It needs a lot for me to be stressed, basically. So without all of that, I would not be able to run. And I mean, like I have Studio September, and I have 2 other projects on the side also, and being able to navigate through the 3 of them, require like organization and trust in the team and time management, and also like everything that you say is and all the component of making you balance, like how you work out, how do you like balance your personal and professional life, can you trust, can you be surrounded by a circle of supportive people, and so on and so on. All of that part of like make you better and like a better entrepreneur and leadership.
That's amazing. I can totally agree on this point, especially because like your circle is your everything, because if they're like supporting you, providing you with the right support, you can always, like get inspired out of that and feeling like, okay, they're winners. So you will be the, the person that is also winning as well. So it's also pouring into your cup, which I believe like it's an amazing thing to have in life. We're blessed to have people that are actually, there for us all the time. But then like, when it comes up to your journey, the fact that you left Paris and you jumped into Thailand, and that was, I would say, like, it's a bold decision to make. It's a really crazy, also, and risky decision to make, knowing that you were like just, you know, living good there and, you know, doing whatever. And Paris is like a dream for a lot of people out there.
Yes.
So I want to know, like, what was like the point where you felt like, okay, you know, like I got burned out, but at that point you had your business, or is it something that you were just, you know, thinking of?
This freelancing that I had, like working for people, it came up when I was very young. So when I was 18, so don't calculate, that I already start to work for people already as a student job or just for free and so on. So even when I was in a corporate, I still have this. So for me, it was not very scary to transition it, and usually this is the advice I give to people. It's like, if being an entrepreneur seems to be like a huge step, you can still like stay in your corporate job and just work during the weekend and the evening until you have enough client or your business is running, and that you can live like step by step. This is less scary. It's like a secure way, so you can just generate some money and then jump. I think it's the best. Some people would say like, but when you have nothing, you really are hungry to get, that's another point of view. I prefer the secure way.
So it's like, until you saw like your business was like kind of making enough, you made that decision of like, okay, I'm just gonna, you know, go and, you know, do it someone else.
But I also have like a bit of saving also. So even if it didn't work, I know that I could live in Asia for a bit of months. But for me, it was more like just, I don't know, I wake up and I say, doesn't make sense. Paris, the subway, the weather, and just like this everyday same, you know, like you don't master your time. I think I'm a very big advocate of freedom. And like, it's more like freedom of choosing, because at the end, like even if you're an entrepreneur, you give a lot of time away, like you work a lot for your business, I guess. You know that. But it's more like the freedom to choose like with who you want to work and when you want to work and where you want to work. I was very, I really want to have that. It didn't make sense for me to stay in the office 9 to 5 and work for someone, and this time can be used for something else. And I knew that by going out of my comfort zone or out of France and Paris, and I will kind of open my mind. So it's like a calling, right? Like if you leave it, you will discover new things, and you will grow up. So.
I love that. It's like, it's beautiful that we can just, you know, discover ourselves throughout journeys that we kind of like take maybe without even considering what is the outcome out of it. But I guess your outcome was pretty much the freedom and kind of like just, okay, I'm going to discover myself. Worst case scenario, I had fun in Thailand, and that's about it.
That's exactly.
So I love that. And what is the one thing that you love about this country?
Well, like we are in Chiang Mai, right? I can talk about Chiang Mai for a long time. Right? Chiang Mai is a very special place. I will not talk about like the whole Thailand, even if Thai people are just amazing. But especially about Chiang Mai, because my heart is in this city.
Oh my God.
I love it. I really love Chiang Mai. It's very peaceful, and I think there is everything here that give you the opportunity to build a routine and to really again like work on yourself. Like everything is very close, and if you want to connect with people, we talk a lot about like the community and the women community, for example. If you want to connect with someone, it's very easy. There is a lot of co-working space, and you can really build a very strong routine, being very productive, build your business and everything. Chiang Mai is amazing for that.
I love that. So what kind of tips you would like to give other people that are either thinking of starting something like yours, or either in a path where they're like doubting it? So what kind of advice do you like to give?
The first one, like I said, like we can start little by little by being in our own country, like and get some client, or it's more about like e-commerce, getting our first sale, or maybe like first setup. So it's less scary than dropping a salary and a structure and everything. So that could be the first things. Also, like if their boss wants to let them to be like remote, that could be also something I can do, like that can be a step toward like digital nomad life. But then like the other advice will be like really be structured, balance the professional and the personal life, because we have a tendency to give a lot of hours, and sometimes after we're like, oh, I'm overwhelmed, I don't know which topic, because when you start you have to be like sometimes the graphic designer, the salesperson, the accountant.
You're basically, when I hear the word founder or CEO, I just imagine a person that does everything.
Exactly.
But when other people that are not in that position, they think, oh my God, money, shopping, flights, private jets, but they don't think like, oh no, it comes with a price.
Exactly, and especially at the beginning where you have to do everything. So that's why like personal and professional balance is very important. And very be structured also, like and discipline. Like I said, workout is important. Me time is important. Self-care is important. When we have a planning, now we have a lot of freedom to say like when I want to work or not. But we have to be our own boss somehow and say, okay, from this time to this time would be about this topic, and it's not about like, okay, going to the trip. So being very disciplined and structured, it's important.
I love that. It's an amazing advice. Do you believe that also having the balance sometimes it comes with a negative energy? Like sometimes you may like I want to just rest. Instead, you're just avoiding the work, because I do have something in the back of my mind saying like the success you want is in the work you're avoiding. So sometimes we get into the idea of like avoiding a work within the idea of like, oh, I'm doing a work-life balance and I need to rest. So
it's possible. Yes, many, like there is maybe something that is said is like what you at the moment where you step out of your comfort zone, or the thing that makes you the most scary is the thing that you have to do. Right? Something about this saying. I mean, sometimes it's just about like saying like, it's about like checking our days and say, okay, I'm more productive, for example, on the morning. For me, it's like between 9 to 11, I'm very productive. And during the evening, I'm very productive. I say, okay, I have to do these things. I just do it for 2 hours. Maybe like use some tool like Pomodoro or stuff like that. I say just do it like at that moment, and maybe at the moment where you are the most productive.
Similar to what I do actually. I'm not a morning person.
Yes.
I'm not a morning person. So basically all my stuff and everything that I do, and when I'm at really productive time is basically evening. So during morning, I'm either like, if I woke up, it must be something really, really, really important.
But now you know that. So if you have to do like something like you know that you have to do it during this time. That's the moment where you feel down.
True. I guess it's actually something that helps us to discover who we are. Because I didn't know that until I actually start paying attention to how I am productive. And I was like just being so dark and strict with myself. Like I gotta wake up, do my workout, do this. And it was like a really good routine. But then like I wasn't, getting enough outcome out of it. Until I realized like, oh no, I'm not a morning person. I gotta just do what makes me productive.
Yes, exactly. So what you experiment is really because now you know yourself a lot. And it's not about like fitting about what the things we say on Instagram, or we can see the correlation between like self-improvement and productivity and being a business owner and entrepreneurship. Because now you know, like you cannot follow like what is said on social media about like all this discipline and like you need to work out at 6 a.m. or whatever. It is like everyone is very different, and you need to really find out what works for you, right? And now you found out, you know yourself, and you just adapt.
Yeah, exactly. Because, you know, like it's something that I guess social media feed us through this kind of fact. Like you get to see a lot of people that are like just, you know, making it in life, waking up at 4 a.m., going to the gym, getting their breakfast done, doing this, doing that. And you feel like you're less. You're just feeling like you're so behind that these people are killing it and they're like so strict. So that was like as positive as it sounds. Like I wake up, go to the gym, do this, just because I didn't know myself at that time. It was all wrong, and it was all negative experience for me because I'm not that person. I don't fit into that. So I wanted to, you know, like highlight this. Like we're unique.
Yes.
You're your own, you know, fingerprint. So you cannot just, you know, think that another person's routine is gonna fit into you. Even when I'm giving advices to other people, I'd be like, okay, whatever. I gotta just deal with the fact that I gotta deal with it. So yeah, I mean, like, is it something that you went through along your journey where you kind of like set a routine and then you realize, oh no, this isn't for me?
And definitely. I mean, social media with all these successful entrepreneurs can really makes you feel like, I'm not good enough. Like I'm not doing everything that they. Like, for example, you know yourself. And you know like what time is more beneficial for you, like to tackle a very important work. But this is where we can see like the link between self-improvement and self-development and know yourself and being an entrepreneur, right? So.
Yeah, I guess it's all glamorized as well when it comes up to social media and how people are putting it out there. For me, you know, personally, it was like an experience where I thought like, okay, maybe putting things together and putting a routine together, like what these, you know, successful entrepreneurs are putting is going to affect my life positively. And that was like a really good step to make because I was committed to it. So I was committed to doing whatever these people on social media are showing you, like going to the gym, you know, preparing my meals, doing this. I was so strict with everything I'm doing. But that was negative for me simply because it was something that it's not for me, you know, and I realize like each individual is kind of like unique within what they do and how they are doing it and what works for them. And the fact that people are showing it on social media doesn't mean that it's going to work for you. So have you been through something similar to that where you felt like, okay, my routine is not given?
Yes, I mean, like social media is it's a big problem on many level, right? Mostly people, they show up like you say the glamour side or all the things they do good, but we need to still remember that sometimes it's not true, right? And I mean, I'm not so much on social media, even on the personal side. I need to work on that this year. I'm gonna work on this. But I try to avoid like social media because it's like so much injunction of the things that you should do. And actually we feel bad sometimes, like say, oh, I don't do all these things. I am not that strict. I don't wake up at 4 a.m. and do blah, blah, blah. Or even whatever, like relationship or travel. And now social media there is good and bad, but we need to keep in mind this is not the truth, right? What I think is, just take what is good for you, right? For example, they talk about like nutrition and workout and all these things. Okay, it's important to have a balanced life. But just like you take it and you adapt to yourself, right?
True. It's like you have to be careful of like what you're feeding your brain. Because it end up like kind of like consuming a certain energy that it's going to either work for you or against you. For me, it was working for me, but it wasn't the right routine. So it was easy for me to just shift and be like, okay, I'm comfortable doing this. I'm comfortable doing that. And this is kind of is going to help me kind of like, you know, make progress within what I do, you know, every day.
Yes.
So it was like the right decision for me. But I'm like, I feel bad for those people that kind of like just go through it and kind of like undervalue themselves and feel like, oh, I'm not an entrepreneur simply because I'm not doing this.
Yeah. Well, if social media would be like a very great thing for self-esteem, like we wouldn't know about it, right? But we know that more we consume like social media, and usually the less or worse we feel, right?
Yeah.
So I think you need to be careful about, again, like what you follow on Instagram is the same. It's information come into your mind. So in the same way where you're gonna select what type of people you want to hang out, you need to be careful about what type of account you follow.
I mean, like, I like to end my episode with something special, with something from your heart, something that kind of always is in the back of your, you know, mind of like, this is my life logo. So what is that logo?
That's a big question, but something that is in the back of my head right now, and will fill up a bit my time, is about this new project that I launched right now. So like in Chiang Mai, I have this place in like a big house, and I want to make like a place where people can meet. So there is offices, but also like a nice place for event and workshop and so on. So for me, like to conclude like an episode about like entrepreneur, I would not be here today to the position that I have, with the businesses I have, with the team I have, and with this mindset and everything, if I would have not met the right people at a certain point. So today, like first, I'm super thankful for these people.
Shout out to these people.
Yes. And then I think as an entrepreneur, it's very important to be like surrounded by inspiring or supportive people. And because just before you, I was working on this house and make this place cozy and nice and so on. So like that's really what into my mind right now, and my heart is like to make a place where all the entrepreneurs can meet and support to each other. And I hope it works, because that's so
You're
beautiful.
putting a lot into it. I do realize that. Well, I wish you all the, you know, the best thing in life, because basically you put all your heart into things. And from, you know, like, you know, staying with you and chatting with you, I just see that through your eyes and how you're sparkling talking about it. So I would love to see you thriving there as well. Without any further ado, thank you guys for watching today's episode, and see you on my next one. Bye-bye.